Hey guys, this is Jamie. So today I want to talk about uh, specifically Formula One and makeup, which is something I never thought I really would, I guess, combine those two. But I do want to talk about it. It's not exactly like the newest news, but it is something that I thought about specifically with the last race in Singapore, and I guess my attention wasn't on the lizard, which was on the track at one point. I personally am not very big on Formula One. I grew up pretty much watching it like probably most kids, like liking Schumacher. I had, obviously I grew up in Colombia, so I had everyone rooting for Montoya around me, but that's about it. My partner's really into it, so I've been trying to get into it more. So we've been watching it, so it's more of a, I enjoy watching it because Lucas likes to watch it, so yeah. So I have been sort of more in depth about it, and I do want to say that obviously there was a certain ruckus when Tarte did an influencer trip. So Tarte, being a massive makeup brand which does influencer trips, they did a certain one to Formula One. So obviously it was split into different days. They had the practice run and the actual run, for instance. And some people were pissed off that they weren't getting the day that they would want, which was mostly the main event. And I do want to say that I personally am not that bothered about influencer trips. I don't understand them in a perspective of, I really don't care if the influencer I'm watching on TikTok goes to Bali and then blogs about it. I'm more interested in the influencer discussing makeup and not lifestyle content, but rather makeup content. Like, I think we've really strayed a lot from tutorials and reviews, and yeah, I've tried to, like, I don't have the patience to edit something like I used to do it back in the day, but anyway, but so I understand, and obviously there's TikTok, and it's quite hard to edit something into like 2 minutes or under, so obviously I can understand that, but I don't understand sort of like, why would I want to see someone who is reviewing a lipstick then go like surfing? I don't know. I just don't get it. But neither am I the audience for like lifestyle TikToks. So I'm not the right audience. So in this case, I also found it weird that people, and specifically the influencers, were pissed off because someone told them, and they weren't Formula One fans, that they were put on the day which isn't the big day. Now, I want to say that obviously this is a very bizarre situation because you're getting a trip for free, you're being allowed, or like you're having the opportunity to watch the race from the stands or from the box, and you shouldn't be complaining. And it was very bizarre. In general, I don't feel like people complain too much about influencer trips, and at the same time I feel like they don't really serve much of a purpose. I mean, if the brand sees a merit, fine. I don't know, like there's many ways to market it. And normally, and I was kind of, I really liked Tarte actually, so I did feel a bit off about the situation, and because, well, obviously we have a bias when we enjoy the brand, and then I was browsing for Instagram the other day, and I've been sort of getting more into Charlotte Tilbury, and which I should have gotten earlier, because like she does Kate Moss makeup quite often and they collaborate and stuff. And like what people have with pop divas, what gay men have with pop divas, I have with Kate Moss, so that's kind of obvious for me. So, and I found out that Charlotte Tilbury, well, and her brands are sponsoring quite a bit and are a big, well, the first makeup sponsor for the Formula One Academy, which is pretty much the youth women's Formula One. And I found that very cool, actually. Like, sure, I'm not the biggest Formula One fan, but I still found that it was a cool way to sort of promote diversity, because obviously in Formula One everyone watches like the main one, which we have like men who are drivers. So obviously to highlight the fact that there is a youth one, and specifically like in a male dominated fields, obviously it's good for diversity. And I feel like on the opposite in this case, like doing something like highlighting a certain job which is male dominated to make it more inclusive, obviously it's a win. So obviously I understand that probably the sponsorship was more expensive than flying like, I don't know, 7 influencers to wherever and putting them in the box or putting them on the stands, but sometimes you just need to do something to make a change, to raise awareness. And obviously, like, now I think of it and I'm like, oh cool, she actually made a change. Like, I found out about this just from like browsing her Instagram page or her stories or whatever. Like, I think the car design for one of the drivers was really cool. It's a French driver, I'm sorry, and for the Formula One Academy, and in general I found it a very cool initiative. So me not knowing anything, now I know more about it, and now I have a bit more of respect, for instance in this case for Charlotte Tilbury. So instead of like thinking, oh, like she's a weird lady who wakes up in eyeliner or like doesn't remove her makeup in front of anyone, instead I kind of think, oh, like she does this, she does Kate Moss's makeup and etc. And sure, everyone is weird in their own ways. And like I really enjoy like the pillow top lipstick, because that's like my favorite shade probably that I own, and my favorite lipstick probably of all time at this point. Which is funny because I usually do quite out there lipsticks, while Pillow Talk is literally my lip shade, but better. But anyway, so it was interesting to sort of sit down and think even to myself, like this big contrast, sort of like we have the Tarte trip, which caused much more ruckus and much more discussion, and then we have actual representation and promoting diversity in a male-dominated field, with an actual male-dominated field for girls and women to strive and to compete with, and a really cool car design. Sorry, I was really in love with the car design, and rather the paint of it. And that is less discussed than some influencers. But at the same time, you can say that obviously influencers do their own coin, drivers, Formula One drivers, do their own coin. But at the same time, I feel like it promotes much more than someone else going to a trip and partying. Like, obviously, this isn't the best sort of case situation where they're going to like to a soup kitchen doing charity work, but at the same time such things still matter and are important. They're not important in a massive grand scale of things, because if we were to talk about proper issues, we talk about like LGBT rights, more diversity in more fields other than like something as prestigious as a Formula One driver. But in general, it's still a very good initiative to support, and I really applaud Charlotte Tilbury to do that and her company. And obviously Tars still does their own stuff, they still have their own inclusivity. The owner addresses whenever there's issues, and I still really like and respect Tars as a company. But it's very interesting because at the end of the day, these are massive brands. They are still will be out of touch for the common consumer. And makeup is still an expensive hobby, specifically these days. And so yeah, but then we're all a bit out of touch when it comes to certain things, and we'll have laser focused vision on the issues we care about, and we'll ignore others. So it's pretty much that. So yeah, I kind of found it interesting that one was more discussed because it's a scandal and made people furious, while the other one, which promoted inclusivity, wasn't as discussed. And there isn't even a post recently on Charlotte Tilbury's page. It was more in the stories from what I remember, even though the Formula One Academy did race in Singapore, just like the Formula One. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to subscribe. Feel free to send this video. Feel free to discuss it with your friends, family, whoever. And if you feel like it, please feel free to leave a comment. And thank you very much for watching. I am really trying to go back to the schedule amidst chaos. Thank you very much for watching.